MONAD back with another MONAD update for you guys. MONAD sitting right now under 22 cents. MONAD, in my opinion, is doing extremely well compared to the rest of the market. If you take a look around at what's happening in the space and what is going on in the overall macro of the market, a lot of altcoins could barely have any type of move to the upside or any type of strength right now. A lot of them have been going down. A lot of them are bleeding against Bitcoin. A lot of them are, they don't look like they don't have any type of future right now. Obviously that could turn around, but there's a saying in the space: don't sell your winners for losers and buy coins that have strength or relative strength, right? Have exposure to coins that have relative strength or strength in the market, and MONAD is showing its strength, right? Remember, MONAD is the first Coinbase ICO, initial coin offering, that launched around the 2.5 cent area. So it's just a little bit below the ICO price. But look at this chart, man. If you take a look at the all chart, the 1 year chart, this chart is fantastic, right? I think if you believe in altcoins, you believe in the future of crypto, and you're bullish on what crypto provides, I think that MONAD, it has the potential to do extremely well. Now obviously I could be wrong. Nothing is guaranteed in the space, right? This is why you never invest more than you're willing to lose. I'm never telling anyone to overinvest in any project, right? So I'm just telling you, hey, maybe this amount of MONAD, 50,000 MONAD, 100,000 MONAD, anywhere in that range is a good bet to make. And, if something does go wrong, well, guess what? It's an amount that, someone with an honest living could make back. Someone that, has a hustle could make back, right? So I'm looking at the charts here. I'm seeing, typically what you see in the altcoin space. You see projects have their big moves in a cycle, and then they bleed out for, that's what happened over the past, the past 2023 to 2024 bull run. It was the weakest bull run we've ever seen, the worst bull run, unless you were trading Solana memes, a bit of SWI, right? You traded SWI, XRP, BNB, I guess. That was pretty much it, man. Solana memes. SWI kind of had a little bit of memes doing well, and XRP and BNB, right? That's pretty much it. That was the bull run. So altcoins did not get their shine like they did in previous cycles. A lot of altcoins are making new lows against the market, whereas MONAD is making higher lows, right? As you can see right now, MONAD is making a high low from this previous low that it had on February 10th, my apologies, February 10th at 17 cent. And now it's sitting, comfy around that 2 cent level, and it's holding that 2 cent level, right? This is very bullish. This is a very bullish structure. Remember, MONAD is the fastest EVM chain that we've seen. Fastest built EVM chain, or fastest project we've seen built on the EVM. 10,000 transactions per second, 200 plus validators, so it's very decentralized as well. And again, it's Coinbase first. It is Coinbase first ICO. And look at the chart, man. Like, would you not buy a chart like this in these market conditions, or start to dollar cost average into a chart like this? I think that's a smart decision to make, right? I don't think, obviously, as long as you manage your risk and don't overinvest, it has, a lot of potential here. It really does. I'm just looking at it from the chart, man. The chart looks pretty good to me. And like I showed you guys in previous videos, there's a lot of coins that are making new lows. They're falling against Bitcoin. One thing I've seen people in the space say, like some of the top analysts, don't sell your winners for losers, right? Don't sell your winners for losers, and get exposure to coins with relative strength, coins that are showing strength. MONAD is showing strength, right? It is definitely showing strength here. Look at how it's consolidating and making higher lows, no matter what Bitcoin is doing, right? Like I said, if Bitcoin has one more leg down to that 45K, 40K region, then you could see MONAD retest 1 cent or 1.5 cent one more time, and then we start the bull run. But in this time frame, it's doing so well. A catalyst out of nowhere could instantly make MONAD an outlier, and then you're seeing it start a run to a new all-time high, in a midterm year, which people, top analysts like Benjamin Cohen said there's always coins that make on new all-time highs in midterm years, right? Maybe Monad is one of those outliers that pull that off, because the chart to me is showing that, that is very possible. Look at it on this recent, these past couple months, how it's just building, strength here. So, like I said, I think this is a great altcoin to have in your portfolio. Obviously, invest depending on how much you can invest and the amount that you're willing to lose. Remember, nothing in this space is guaranteed, and I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is financial advice. Gas prices dropped to zero. Metamask now uses now you could transact on Monad without needing gas for Metamask users. I personally am an on-chain trader. Like, for example, for me to get access to Monad, right? I literally have my money in Metamask and Phantom, and then I either bridge from base chain or mainnet Ethereum, Solana, etc. I bridge from these different chains to Monad without having to use a centralized exchange, right? That's how I'm able to mess around with memes on Monad or different projects, micro caps, etc. That's how I'm able to do that, right? So I think that knowledge is very invaluable. Very valuable. Invaluable is a word? Valuable. It's very valuable to have information and knowledge like that. So I definitely think you guys should, instead of just buying the coins, right? You should try using the coins, like using them for, even if it's just like a little bit, like you just take 50 to 100 Monad and just play around in their ecosystem, see what it's all about, see, the different DApps that are built, test it out, man. This is why Solana had such a massive run, this bull run, well, the past bull run, 2023, 2024 cycle that we had. It did so well because people are using their Solana. They took the Solana to buy memes and other projects on Solana, whether it was DApps or, AI projects, etc. They swapped to their on-chain. They took their Solana to swap for on-chain projects on Solana, and the more people bought Solana to swap for things on Solana, it increased that price. It increased the TVL. It increased the revenue. It increased the users, and that's how you saw mass adoption take place for Solana, right? So this is why I say, if you guys want mass adoption for Monad, you should definitely, in my opinion, mess around in the ecosystem, test it out, see how it works, see what's going on, use some of the DApps, use some of the protocols, do some, DeFi here and there, whatever floats your boat. I'm not a big DeFi guy personally, but whatever floats your boat. So in my opinion, like I said, I think Monad is in a great spot. Remember, nothing what I say is financial advice, guys. 50,000 to 100,000 Monad, anywhere in that range is a good bet to make. I can be wrong, so don't take my word as law. But from a chart perspective, from how well it's holding up, if you take a look at the macro, Bitcoin trying to have a bounce, but it's not sustaining, right? The market is in a spot where it's extremely difficult, right? It feels like the coins, it'll take all the power in the world for the coins to go up, and they just won't go up, right? That's how terrible the market feels. But that doesn't mean you should give up, right? Macro conditions aren't looking great, but what's looking great still is Monad, man. It's holding up pretty great here, right? So, as always, none of this is financial advice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join my Discord, follow me on X, and subscribe to my Clips channel. It really helps the channel out. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next.